So let's go to the next picture. And this one is a very precious sequence of pictures to me. This is a 21-year-old man named Jeffrey, and you're looking at a picture of him with his grandmother. And he is this absolute worst case of cerebral palsy I have ever seen. And I've prayed for a number of cases of cerebral palsy, but he was so encumbered and impaired by it that he was functioning at the level of a quadriplegic from this disease. He was completely neurologically impaired. He had spent his entire life in a wheelchair. He was also blinded, so he could not go to school or really be trained to read, because neurologically, let's go to the next picture. I want to show you what the enemy had done. It's another picture where you're seeing he's just kind of, impaired, but the last picture kind of says it all. This is how he was. Now look at his arms and legs. He's kicking his legs, he's kicking his arms, and that's his mom, Dancia, and she happens to be one of the students in our school. That's how I came to pray for him, because she brought her son to me. And the father, just to give you some example about how severe his condition was, both the parents are in the computer software field in the Bay Area, and the father had to completely quit his career and be a full-time caretaker for the son. And the mother remained in the workforce, and there was nothing they could do. He was 21, functioning like a 5-year-old. The father was strictly a caregiver, but I don't know how the parents were even able to manage him. Look at his arms and legs. When I met him, he was not still for a second. He was constantly flailing his arms and legs around, so you couldn't work with him. And I don't know how they even, could do the basic functions. It was impossible. But the mom brought him to one of the healing events that I do, and I started to lay hands on him. And I prayed into him neurologically, which again is how the Lord has led me to pray for people. If you all remember when I was here last time, I pray down all the chemical pathways of the body. I pray into the physiology. I pray into whatever medically needs to be corrected, just as if I was praying in with the same detail that the Lord creates the body. That's the blessing of having the medical background. I understand the body with that kind of detail. But I also pray into the soul and the heart of the person. You have to pray into the whole person, into every part of them, their emotional needs, their lives. And so I started to pray for him, and he was really difficult. He kept tearing my hand off, agitating, moving constantly, but I persevered, and the Lord started to shift him. And his parents could see, they were really amazed. They had never seen a shift in him from the minute he was born. He was always compromised. But he started to shift, and his system started to come into balance neurologically. And I prayed for him over about maybe 5 sessions, progressively, which I love to do. It doesn't matter to me if it's a one-time prayer with a super miracle, or you pray 5 times against the strongholds and it's a super miracle. It's all the same to me. It's all the Lord doing it, how He's going to do it. And again, I do want to say this to all of you in your need for healing, in your need for prayer. It's all perfect. Whether it takes 1 prayer or 5 prayer or 10 prayer, you're going to get healed. If you persevere, there's nothing the Lord can't heal. You will have everything that the Lord wants for you and created you to have. And He did this for Jeffrey. I want to show you what the Lord did for Jeffrey. So look at no more wheelchair. And also he's praising the Lord. He's just sitting at one of our services that the mom brought him back to. And the next slide, he's hugging a friend. This just all happened. This is all recent. Next picture. Look, how about that? How about us playing the piano? Look at that. He's now playing the piano. And then look at the next picture. He's wheeling a shopping cart through Walmart. And best of all, he's no longer blind. The Lord took away his blindness, and he can see. And for the first time, he can see books, and he can see iPads, and his parents are now going to be able to teach him how to read and school him. The Lord healed him for this. So let's go to the next.